Is it better to rent than to buy a home right here in the Charlotte area? Come with me and let's look at that right now. All right, my fault. Sorry, I forgot I had those glasses on. Now, it does not come as a shock to anyone that living in the greater Charlotte area has increased in price significantly since COVID, but prices were rising even before COVID. Let's take a look at this local news clip talking about rent and what to expect in 2024. Let's go.
Switching gears now, nearly half the people who live here in Charlotte are renters, and we've been monitoring rising rent costs since prior to the pandemic.
So take a look at this morning. Right before the pandemic in January 2020, the median rent for an apartment in Charlotte, according to rent.com, was $1,550. 3 years later, January 2023, that number had gone up by more than $400 to $1,955 a month. And by July, even higher. We hit that high of $1,986 a month. So in 3.5 years, your income would have needed to go up $5,200 just to try and keep up. But it looks like things may be changing just a little bit here.
Faith Alford has some more on that and some really good advice for folks as well.
Mary and Alex, I'm here along Moorhead Street, just a mile or so out of Uptown. I'm surrounded by apartment buildings, some of them new and some of them about to open. Experts say that's the key to rent prices beginning to fall. Rent in Charlotte has been coming down for the past few months. Rent.com says in December, the median rent price was about $1,800. That's about a 7% drop since the July peak. Our colleagues at On Your Side Tonight talked to Rent.com, who told us the pandemic created a lot of demand. People were working from home, and that demand drove up construction and prices. This year, we can expect to see a lot more apartments on the market, and that is driving prices down, giving people more options.
You know what? I think 2024 is the year of the renter. We're going to see some prices continue to fall and more choices. We're even seeing some property managers offering concessions for the renters. So they're offering things like a month of free rent or access to luxury amenities, even discounts at local retailers and restaurants. So really great time to be a renter, and I would say that's not going anywhere for the next several months.
Terhune also had some advice if your lease is about to be up. She says you shouldn't be afraid to negotiate. In Charlotte, Faith Alford, WBTV, On Your Side.
Now, as you watch that clip, what is one thing that stood out to you? Well, for me, it talked about how many more units are coming to the market and how that should soften rent and rent prices coming down. But if you listened, they're referring to apartments. Now, if you're that person that wants to live in an apartment, by all means, it will become more affordable in 2024 to live in an apartment. But if you're that family or that individual that wants to be in a single family home, there's not much more inventory coming to the market for single family homes. So what does that mean? That means those rental prices are staying up there pretty high, if not increasing. So it really comes down to what you want out of life and your living situation. If you are okay with living in an apartment, by all means, you will have a plethora of options right now and as we go further into the year, because there's about 10 to 15,000 apartment units becoming available in 2024 in the greater Charlotte area. Now, if only that could be said for single family homes. If that was the case, home prices will be leveled off or coming down, if I'm being honest with you. But right now, in regards to single family homes, both rental and to buy, there is a shortage and there's a challenge of finding inventory. Now, I will concede that the number or percentage of foreclosures has ticked up a bit. So there will be people that have a ton of equity and don't want to fight the foreclosure process and just want to hurry up and get rid of it. They will bring those homes to market. Now, they're not going to be foreclosed on. They're going to be listed on the market just like a normal sale, and that will bring more inventory to the market. Now, how much will that impact whether there was enough inventory? That depends on when everybody lists their home, because not everybody's on the same time schedule when it comes to foreclosure or the foreclosure process. Yes, there is new construction that is coming to the market this year in the Charlotte area in 2024. And hopefully, there's enough new construction to come to the market to level the playing field between supply and demand. But as I can attest to you in February 2024, right now there's still more demand than there is supply. Now, as we go further into the year, I will update you on that ratio, but presently it's still more demand than supply. And my fear is that as we go into the spring market, which is the house buying season, typically the house buying season starts right after the Super Bowl. So for all intents and purposes, we're in the spring housing season. I had, 3 properties go under contract this past week. So people are out there looking to buy and looking to sell. But as more people are looking to buy right now, there's still not enough inventory, and that's driving the price up. But if you happen to be in a higher price point, I'm talking $650,000 or above, you may be able to get a good deal when it comes to new construction. Now, regarding resale homes. Homes that have been sitting on the market for more than 30 days and they're in that higher price point, buyers, you have some leverage here to where you can try to negotiate and get a great deal because those properties have been sitting on the market for quite some time. But if it is a home that just came to market above that $650,000 price point and it's move-in ready in a good location and just something you want to have and need to have, chances are there's at least a handful of other families that feel that exact same way. So do not delay when pursuing that. In fact, I have an agent right now who's working with a client who a home just came off of coming soon. Coming soon means they can market it, but nobody can go in and see the property. Well, they can go see the property today. And that agent told me that they barely got an opportunity to see the property because all the time slots were booked. So again, even if it's over $650, if it's in a nice, desirable location with a good school and move-in ready, and don't let it have top-notch finishes, that home is not going to sit around and is going to go very quickly, even with the higher price point. So I urge you, if you're buying or selling, reach out to my team and I. Reach out to a local real estate professional so you can be put in position to win and take advantage of the various housing markets. Many people think there's just one housing market. No, there's the rental housing market. There's the pre-foreclosure housing market. There's the housing market for condos and townhouses. There's also the housing market for 55 and older people. There's the housing market at various price points. If you're under $450,000, that is one housing market. If you're over $450,000, that's another. And then once you get to about $650,000 and above, that's an entirely different housing market. So just because somebody may be very experienced in one housing market, if they are not well-rounded and versed in dealing with the various housing markets, they could or possibly lead you astray, not because they did it intentionally, it's just that they don't have any experience in those other housing markets. So when we talk about is 2024 the year of the renter? Yes, it most definitely is if you are looking for an apartment. If you're looking for a single family home, those prices are staying up, and my fear is that they're going to continue going up. But like always, do your due diligence and do what's best for you and your family moving forward. Don't listen to me or any other YouTube expert. You do your due diligence and see what's best for you and your family. You know your financial condition. You know whether or not you can live in an apartment. You know if you need a single family home. For up-to-date news and advice regarding the housing market, I'm Sir Ashley, your real estate advisor. Talk soon.